Today, we hear of community activist Samuel Rivers and the consequences of exposing corruption in the city of Mount Vernon. So how did this whole scenario in Mount Vernon start off?
Well, it actually started, I got involved with exposing corruption. Actually, with the encounter I had began with the buildings department several years ago. And I realized a little guy was getting screwed in Mount Vernon. We had a corrupt buildings commissioner, so I kept putting pressure on, exposing corruption, led to his resignation, August 2009, there's a new commissioner in there, and it seems to be okay. And then I turned my focus to the DPW commissioner, who at the same time he repaired every sidewalk near the properties he owns in Mount Vernon that had no prior damage, built new sidewalks. He spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a park on Union Avenue and Fish Street. This is all in the city of Mount Vernon. Rededicated the park. It's a park that no one uses. Park was remained dormant. And also we had the DPW supervisor, Rudy Prasad, who I received pictures anonymously in the mail, was using DPW equipment and resources to do work at his private house. And from what appears in the pictures, some of the workers that were on the scene took the pictures, sent them to me anonymously. I held an interview. Everything was shown on News 12. Nothing happened. Nothing came out of that event. Rudy was never suspended. District attorney came down there, investigated the incident. No charges were filed. They said it was an internal issue with the matter and that they referred it back to the city of Mount Vernon. We had an inspector general in the city of Mount Vernon, does nothing. Never shows up, never released any reports regarding this. According to city officials, the matter is still under investigation. A couple of weeks ago, I received information that Rudy Prasad used taxpayer resources, equipment to repair a private homeowner's sidewalk, and he received profit for that. And I understand the Corporation Counsel referred this matter to the District Attorney's Office for criminal prosecution. Rudy Prasad has since been suspended without pay. We also had a water department employee who was suspended, who was actually arrested for stealing those heavy plates that when they excavate the street from Con Edison, and apparently must have been selling them at profit. Plates weigh between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds each. He was arrested, but yet he was not suspended. He's still on the job. Apparently there's an internal investigation, which is strange. Rudy Prasad gets suspended. He wasn't charged with the crime, and another worker that was charged with the crime is still working, getting paid by the taxpayers in Mount Vernon. So this is the type of government we have in Mount Vernon. Everyone turns a blind eye to the corruption. It's just ongoing and continual.
So who do you think the buck should stop with?
The buck should stop with the mayor. The mayor hired this DPW commissioner. This Rudy Prasad has been around for administration. I believe he's on his third mayor now. And everyone knows of this reputation of this guy. And the reason why I heard there's a deal on the table with him. Either you retire or we're going to file criminal charges against you. Because this is a mayoral election year. And I believe he can't have this going out and this haunting him. So they're forcing him to retire and saying, if you don't retire, we're going to bring criminal charges and you're going to lose your pension. And apparently Rudy has said, if I go down, I'm bringing everyone down with me. He knows a whole lot more, which should be interesting throughout the years. I mean, I hope they don't fire the guy because I want to see him telling everybody. And hopefully, once and for all, we can clean up this city of Mount Vernon because corruption is just ongoing. A couple of years ago, we did have someone indicted out of the DPW department overbilling the city of Mount Vernon for trash and tree stump removal. And they are sentenced, serving time in a federal penitentiary somewhere.
So then let's move on to what happened to you. You were actually down at one of the
I was actually down there to conduct, my own, I do have a blog, Mount Vernon Exposed, conduct my own findings and basically investigate what's going on and see what's going on down there. Among other issues, we had garbage trucks that haven't gone out for about a long time. 8 brand new garbage trucks that taxpayers paid for just sitting idle because the DPW Commission did not want to dirty them up before the Memorial Day parade. I was looking for the piece of equipment that was in the photographs and also shown on News 12. It's called a tamper earth leveling machine to when you pat down the dirt when you excavate. I was looking for the piece of equipment and also the leaves. My leaves haven't been picked up. So I was down there several days prior to that. Police were called. Nothing happened. to me down there. Police came, showed them the law, and after that, they left. And then one day they decided to put a sign up on the wall saying restricted area, restricted personnel only, and then I was arrested.
So what were you arrested for?
Criminal trespassing. It's actually public property paid for by the taxpayers, which clearly states that in the city charter, and I was arrested. They said I was criminally trespassing. There was fenced off, designed to keep out intruders. There was no fences. Everything was open. I just walked on the property, and I was arrested.
So what happened next?
So I was charged. Every judge in Mount Vernon recused themselves on the matter, saying they didn't want to hear the case, citing X, Y, and Z. They were co-workers. They work with these people. So my case got transferred to the city of New Rochelle, which one judge recused herself here. So I actually set for trial, a jury trial, January 31st in the city of New Rochelle. And they confiscated my iPhone, they confiscated my video recorder, they confiscated my tape recorder, my video camera, saying it's evidence. They have yet to give anything back to me. And what they're providing to my attorney is basically a few photos and saying, here, this is what you're going to use to defend yourself. And it shows nothing. I'm not guilty of anything. They wanted me to plead to a lesser. I'm not pleading to anything because I feel that I'm innocent and I wasn't trespassing.
So what happens if it goes against you? Do you think you'll take it to a higher level?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe that, it's foolish wasting taxpayers' money to prosecute this when you have serious crimes. We have a commissioner and a subordinate, the supervisor, committing blatant acts of corruption, and they're coming after me for informing the public of what's going on here. They don't like that. They don't like that I'm a thorn in their sides. They don't like the fact that I'm exposing of their corruption and I have access to the information. And I believe to them that makes me fairly dangerous.
So you're like a citizen journalist and you're getting penalized for it?
Absolutely. They've tried to institute policies saying that you can't bring in cameras or recorders in public buildings. They tried to issue an executive order. Nothing ever came out of that. They've tried everything. Prior to me getting arrested, 2 weeks before that, they wanted to impose this ban on cameras and tape recorders in city-owned properties. That never went anywhere, and there was coverage on that in the Journal News. I was threatened prior to that by the mayoral aide that was taped. John Boykin threatening me, if anything happens to me, it's just going to go away and so forth like that. I've been assaulted by friends of the mayor's, only for him to be charged, and the DA drops the case, transfers it into Bronxville where she lives, and the judge seals the case. Nothing's been normal with anything with this district attorney.
So basically a poor city like Mount Vernon is actually chasing after you, spending a fortune, there must be a fortune at this point, in legal fees to go after you.
Well, it's actually the district attorney, so it's the county taxpayers, the county district attorney's office and taxpayers. But yes, a fortune, I would say so. When you have so many other problems in the city and they're worried about me informing the public as what's going on.
Have they not heard of the First Amendment?
Apparently not. And they don't believe it. They believe in giving you the information when they want you to have it. When you request documents from the city, it takes a very long time to get it. Even for your newspaper, you're not getting a document. They don't care. They says, we'll give you what we want to give you when we want to give it to you. That's the mentality with the city of Mount Vernon.
So their FOIL laws are also suspect?
Very suspect. I have dozens of outstanding FOIL requests with the city of Mount Vernon. They just don't answer. They don't even reply. You put the appeal in. They just don't answer to you. They got that brazen in Mount Vernon where they just said, forget about you. We do what we want to do. So that's the problems we have now. They don't want to get it, but we're going to get a Board of Ethics up and running. I actually applied to be on the Board of Ethics because I know more about this corruption going on probably than anyone in the city, except for the people that's committing the corruption.
So we're basically now waiting for the trial to happen?
Waiting for the trial to happen, which is January 31st in New Rochelle City Court. I'm looking forward to resuming my activities down there and keeping a watchful eye on the tax dollar.
So you'll be keeping us abreast of it in the Westchester Guardian?
Absolutely.